Hello everyone, David Bredan here from aBlogtoWatch.com with a review of the Zenith El Primero Original 1969. Now, if you've been around watches or into watches for a longer period of time, then the name Zenith El Primero, I'm sure, already means a lot to you. But for those who are not entirely familiar with it, let us begin with a little bit of history first. So it was during the mid to late 1960s that three, or rather four, major watch brands were competing to claim the title to bring the first automatic chronograph wristwatch to the market. And it was a really tight and cotton competition. And even today, even to this day, there still is quite a bit of debate going on who was first and who was second and whatnot. But today, I really don't want to talk about that in greater detail because I feel it doesn't really matter that much. But what does matter today for us when it comes to this watch is that competition during the 1960s gave us the Zenith El Primero movement, and that has been around for 45, 46 years now, a long time, and it still is one of the all-time greatest automatic chronograph movements ever made, and it still is in production. I mean, it had a bumpy history and it had its ups and downs, but for the last 15, 20 years, the Zenith El Primero has seen a whole bunch of different variations with tourbillons and perpetual calendars and all those other functions added to it. Nevertheless, what we are looking at today is the original 1969, which means a beautiful traditional case size, a very nice dial layout, and the Zenith El Primero 400 movement that was debuted in 2009 for the 40th anniversary for the El Primero. So what makes the El Primero so special for so many of us? Well, first and foremost, because some people think or say that this was the first, and for them that is important. But what I feel is more important than that is that it performs extremely well, and it has a unique treat or a unique specification to it. Well, not entirely unique, but at this price point, this is pretty much unprecedented, and that means that the Zenith El Primero operates at, as you can see here on the dial, 36,000 vibrations per hour, or 5 Hertz. Even today, the absolute majority of modern mechanical watch movements work at a frequency of 4 Hertz or even less, and that means that the seconds hand advances 8 times or 6 or 5 times per second, while on the other hand, the Zenith El Primero, because it beats faster, so to speak, the seconds hand advances 10 times per second, and that not only allows for the measurement of 1/10 of a second if your reaction time is that good, but also it results in better chronometric performance over a longer period of time. So when you have a higher frequency, that means that the balance wheel is more stable, and whenever there are shocks or whenever there are different changes to the position of the watch and whatever, the 5 Hertz frequency kind of guarantees a better rate over all these little happenings. And so this is why you would want a 5 Hertz watch. And also on a very watch nerdy note, you will see how the seconds hand just glides across the dial, and I think that looks fantastic, and that looks really unique when you've had a bunch of 4 Hertz watches or 3 Hertz watches and all the rest of them. Here it is just such a special sight, and you can see that even here on the chronograph seconds and on the running seconds as well. So that is just a neat little addition. As I said, the El Primero has had a whole bunch of different variations over time, but this really is just the bee's knees when it comes to the base movement, so to speak. So you can see here on the movement the large skeletonized and quite beautifully decorated automatic rotor that has the Zenith Star logo there and the skeletonized area, and also the Geneva striping all across it. And I've praised this movement all the time in this review thus far, but this is actually where I have some slight criticisms as well, and that concerns the quality of the decoration. So when you first look at this watch, chances are that you're going to be like, wow, that's really impressive, or when you first handed this watch or you hand it to someone to take a look, they will be quite impressed. But upon a closer look, you will see that there are some unfinished areas, like there behind the chronograph wheels there. I'm going to add a close-up as well. That's quite a large area that remained plain, and that helps highlight these two constantly rotating wheels. And I think, well, for one, that's cool and all, but at the same time, I would like to see some extra finishing there, and also here behind that area and around the balance wheel, because those are larger areas, and trust me, you will see that. It's not that big of a deal, but you know, it's just something that I would like to see, or would have preferred to see. Nevertheless, the case design and the rest of the movement, of course, as well, is just beautifully executed, and yeah, it looks great. One of the details that doesn't really show up on the pictures at first is this raised sapphire crystal that just comes out from extends from the plane of the case, and that gives it that extra bit of retro look, and it just makes it more three-dimensional overall and just feels so much more high quality. It looks fantastic. Putting it on the wrist, you will see that the 38mm well, traditional or vintage size is actually a really neat size, especially for my 6.75 inch wrist. I mean, if you have larger wrists, chances are that you will want to go for one of the myriads of larger versions of the Primero. But here, this really is just a timeless looking timepiece right here. So as I've done some research over the years on the Primero, I've heard people say and mention how these overlapping chronograph subdials are a little bit more difficult to read, and I guess if you want to read the chronograph minutes with to-the-minute accuracy between like 16 and 22 minutes, more power to you, I guess, but it really isn't that difficult. And yeah, I guess that kind of concerns the overall legibility of the dial, but I still feel that that it is a really easy to read timepiece. The hands are nicely sized and very proportionate, and there's quite a bit of contrast as well. And the three colors make this watch just well. Actually, with the second hand, it's four main colors make it really easy to match this watch to basically any attire or any shirt. It's just the right balance between elegant and sporty, and I feel that the Primero Original is just a great match for any occasion whenever you want to wear it. It came on this very nicely done brown leather strap with a dappled clasp that I think is just a good match altogether. But the Primero Original 1969 is also available on a steel bracelet. And yeah, basically that's about it. I mean, the Primero is just a timeless design altogether. As you can see here, it looks absolutely fantastic in my opinion. That is, and yeah, the movement performs really well and beautifully. There's this reassuring, very nicely engineered click to the pushers as well. So I think that is just exactly what watch enthusiasts want. And yeah, I feel that if you're in the market for an in-house a movement equipped Swiss-made chronograph watch that you can wear for any occasion, I feel like you should go. You should have no trouble going for the Zenith El Primero Original 1969. Price for this version on the leather strap is $8,600 while on steel bracelet option it's $9,100 and you can see the full review on aBlogtoWatch.com soon. Thanks.